Every country is in debt. Not some, not most, all of them. The United States owes more than $38 trillion, more than at any point in its history. The European Union carries around 14 trillion. Japan, nearly 9 trillion. Oil-rich states, export giants, financial powerhouses, all of them owe. So ask the obvious question: if everyone is in debt, who is the creditor? This is where money, power, and history collide, and where simple answers stop working. Debt is not just a burden. It is the operating system of the modern world. Every war, every financial crisis, every boom and collapse, they all sit on the same invisible structure: debt. Follow the chain long enough, and you reach an uncomfortable truth. The world is not in debt to a single country or institution. The world is in debt to itself. But don't confuse that with fairness, because while the debt is shared, the benefits are not. Today, global debt exceeds $315 trillion, nearly 3 times the size of the entire world economy. This didn't start with credit cards. It didn't start with Wall Street. It started with war. In 1694, England was fighting France and running out of gold. The crown turned to private merchants in exchange for steady interest payments, guaranteed by future taxes. Merchants financed the state. To manage this arrangement, the Bank of England was born. For the first time, a government could spend money it didn't yet have. And lenders received something far more powerful than gold: a government promise that could be traded. The government bond was born. France copied it. The Dutch perfected it. The United States used it to fund a revolution, and then an empire. Debt stopped being a weakness. It became proof of credibility. If a state could borrow, it could rule. Empires once conquered land for gold. Now they issue bonds for interest. The battlefield moved from soil to spreadsheets. Fast forward 3 centuries. Debt is now the world's most important product. Every country borrows. Every bank lends. Every citizen is trapped on both sides, paying taxes while holding pensions and savings tied to government debt. So who actually holds the power? Start with the United States, because its debt is not just national, it's global infrastructure. Of the $38 trillion, roughly half is held by private investors. And most of those investors are American: banks, pension funds, insurance companies, asset managers, and the Federal Reserve itself. Foreign countries hold about $9 trillion. Japan is the largest holder. China comes next, then Europe. So yes, America owes China, but that's only about 2% of the total. America mostly owes itself. Treasury issues bonds. Institutions buy them. The Federal Reserve buys them back, creating new dollars in the process. Taxes pay the interest. The interest flows into retirement accounts. It's a closed loop. Real debt, mirrored ownership. And this loop exists everywhere. Japan lends to the U.S. The U.S. lends to Europe. Europe lends to developing nations. Developing nations recycle reserves back into Western bonds. Everyone holds everyone else's promises, like a poker table where all the chips are borrowed. And the only rule is that no one leaves. But there's a higher layer above governments: markets. Trillions of dollars controlled by pension funds, hedge funds, sovereign wealth funds, and central banks. These institutions decide who lives cheaply and who pays to survive. Lose their trust, and currencies collapse. Governments fall. Economies reset overnight. Democracy chooses leaders. Markets choose outcomes. And at the center of it all sits the modern high priest: the central bank. Central banks don't just manage debt, they manufacture it. When a central bank buys government bonds, It creates money from nothing. One balance sheet's liability becomes another's asset. Every dollar in existence is backed by someone else's debt. There is no such thing as debt-free money. For decades, this system has survived on one thing: confidence. As long as investors believe governments will keep paying interest, even if the principal is never repaid, the machine keeps running. But when confidence breaks, reality shows up fast. Greece, Argentina, Sri Lanka. Debt crises don't look like spreadsheets. They look like unemployment, shortages, and political collapse. And suddenly the creditors become visible. The IMF, rating agencies, anonymous bondholders. Yet even after collapse, the system resets. Old debt is replaced with new debt. Promises are rewritten. Nothing is actually paid off. Because modern sovereign debt is not meant to be repaid. It is meant to be rolled over. Governments are not planning to pay their debts. Not now, not ever. This isn't corruption. It's design. Individuals repay loans. Governments refinance them forever. Interest is the product. Stability is the rent. The global economy depends on this rent.